don't know why people don't buy more colocasia. Why don't people like colocasia? Colocasia Black Magic, they get like massive. The leaves get huge. Like, why don't people like colocasia? I found a blue gecko on Etsy for like $8. $8. I better get on it before everyone finds out about it. Hello everyone, the year is ending and today I wanted to talk about some of the top favorite plants of 2020 and some of my wish list plants of 2020. So let me get you some plants that I bought this year that are my favorite and I'll be right back. Okay, so my first plant that I bought this year, not my first plant, but the first plant that I thought of that I bought this year is my Hoya compacta variegata. I got this at Pueblo Life and it didn't grow for like a very long time, like probably a couple months, and I was like, what is up with you? What am I doing wrong? And eventually it just started putting out new growth, and it's actually putting out some right now. So it's definitely one of my favorites. I really enjoy it. So first one of the year, Hoya compacta. My second one is one that I struggled with for a really long time. Like, I could not figure this plant out for the life of me. And then eventually, like after killing it like 3 times, the 4th one is alive. So variegated string of hearts. Here she is. She's so beautiful. And she grows really quickly now that I can take care of her. Once I get some grow lights, I definitely want to put her under some grow lights because I want to get the strings like bigger, or the pearls bigger, because they're kind of small right now. But overall, like, this is a really awesome plant. Like, once you figure out how to take care of it, it grows super quickly and it's just like super adorable. Like, who doesn't want that? And it was pretty cheap, so got it from 831 Succulents on Etsy, and it's like $18, I think. Plus shipping, it comes out to be like a little over 20, but still, like, very nice. The third one is one that I just put on this moss pole that I made, and I got it like 2 months ago in October, and I'd been looking for it for like a very long time. The price for it has dropped, thankfully. It's a little more easier to find, and I'm starting to see it in some local plant shops, like rare plant shops, so I would definitely like keep an eye out for this one in 2021. Oh my gosh, is it 2021 already? Yikes. Anyway, so I got this one online, and here it is. This is scindapsus trubii moonlight, and it is growing really quickly. Yep. A lot of people say that it's a slow grower, and I don't really know why, because this one in particular grows really quickly for me, and I think it might be because I have it in like right next to a south-facing window. And I know a lot of people say that you should keep it like in shade or whatever, but this thing can handle direct sunlight. So you don't have to keep this in shade. In my experience, there's no burning on it whatsoever. And it's growing really quickly, so. And I just water it like I do the rest of my scindapsus. It does just fine. Absolutely gorgeous. Yes. This one is a prayer plant. Another prayer plant made it onto this list, but this is the first one I want to talk about. And she's looking a little rough right now. yeah, she's looking a little rough, but she is healthy and she's doing okay. She's just kind of, I think she's just acclimating, and she was in the mail for a while, so, but she's okay. I'm confident that she'll be fine. This particular variety of Maranta are really hardy, so I'm not worried. This is Maranta Silver Band, and they're very similar to Maranta Lucanura Green, and the other one, or no, okay, I think Maranta Lucanura Red, and then Maranta Kirshenova, which is the green one. They're very similar, but this one is obviously, it's silver, and I got this from an online seller from Etsy, and it came from, I think it came from like Tennessee or something, so I was really worried about it, and it did come a little bit like bent, so like all of this except for this leaf is propagating in soil right now. So, and they look good, like they're not curling or anything. So this leaf is starting to turn a little bit yellow on the edge there, just a little bit, and that makes me kind of nervous, but I don't know. I'm like, whatever, like it'll be fine. I've propagated Maranta in soil many times, and they've all done just fine. They seem to take to soil really easily, Maranta. So, and I'll probably just end up cutting this little guy. But yeah, this is a really cool plant, and I couldn't believe the size of this leaf. Like, it's literally the size of my hand. So, and they do get like a purple back. I think the seller had it in like a really bright window, so most of these leaves are not very purple, but when you, I believe, I'm pretty sure, when you move them back away from a window into like a lower light situation, that's when the leaves start to get purple. So that's that. This is my calathea. This is my one and only calathea. And I've had her for about like a week now. And I was honestly expecting her to be dead by now. But she's not, and she's doing very well, mostly. She has some like crispy edges, but I'm still like just kind of trying to figure her out, and she looks good for the most part, like upon first glance, looks really good. And I had her in kind of like a higher light situation closer to the south facing window right there, and all these leaves, this is the extent that her leaves will open right now. But before, when I had her like close to the window, they would be drooping down even more like that, and I was like, ah! So I moved her back away from the window, and now she looks a little more perky. So I just love like the silver, like with the borders. It's really pretty. And she has a new leaf coming in right here. So I think she's doing well, and she's about due for a water, so we'll see. It'll be her first water. Yikes. Alright. My last plant is a plant that I've had on my wish list since the beginning of March, basically, when I started collecting plants. And I've been looking at it online, and finally I asked for it as a Christmas gift, and they came through, and here it is. It's kind of silly because it's like so underwhelming. Like, you look at this crazy plant and you're like, oh my god, that's a weird looking plant. Or you look at this plant and you're like, wow, that's a striking plant. And then you look at this guy and you're like, leaf? Leaf. And yeah, so I mean, unless you're like a fan of dark foliage, you kind of look at this guy and you're like, why? You know? But as it gets bigger and like more bushy and it starts to vine, I'm sure it'll be a more impressive plant. But this is Scindapsus trubii dark form, and it's become a little more popular in the market as I've seen it, but people aren't really buying it. Like, it's kind of rare, but people aren't really buying it. Like, I got this one from Peace, Love, and Happiness Club, and they've had all of their trubii dark forms on their website for a long time. Granted, it is a more expensive plant. Like, this was $98. So, but I think it's worth it. If you're a Scindapsus collector like I am, it's definitely worth it. Like, the video like really does not do it justice. These leaves are so glossy and beautiful. They're really dark, and the leaves are much bigger than I thought they would be. Like, it's almost as big as my hand, which is not saying much because my hands are tiny, but I've had it for literally a day, but so far it's a really nice plant. Look at that. Crazy. Okay, I'll move into the wish list plant part of this video, and I've got my little notes here, so we'll reference that. And I've got them kind of like in categories, so we'll just move through the categories. The first one is in the ficus family, and it's the Ficus shiveriana. And I have the burgundy, I have the Taneki, I don't have the ruby yet, and I have the altissima, but I don't have the shiveriana. So I really want the shiveriana. I found an Australian seller who sells them, but they were out of stock. So I'm on the mailing list for that. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be really expensive with just the rarity of the plant and also shipping and whatnot, so we'll see. In the aroid section, variegated billieti. I don't have like a non-variegated billieti, so I might just like get that first just to get experience with it, but I would really like a variegated billieti. I know that they're kind of notorious for reverting, but they're really pretty, so yeah. Obviously a variegated monstera. I don't have the money for one, even if I wanted to buy one. I don't have the money. I know that I've seen some sellers who kind of sell ones that are like kind of variegated, you know, a little bit of speckling, for like $130, but it's just not really like worth it for me right now because I already have a monstera and I'm just kind of really digging like the non-variegated version, but I do want a variegated one at some point. I would also like a Thai constellation. The more I think about it, the more I actually want a Thai constellation instead of like an albo, because I just think they're cooler. I don't know, I like the spotted look. Another aroid, Amidria medium, which is a silver plant. It's a silver plant. It kind of looks like a tiny tetrasperma, like silver tetrasperma in a way. I just really love the silver, you know me, silver plants. So, Syngonium tricolor. I have Syngonium, I don't even know what the cultivar name is, but I was looking it up earlier today and I did see it, but I forgot the name. But I have kind of like a pinkish Syngonium right now, but I really want the tricolor. I just think they're so striking, so beautiful, but they're really expensive, so I'm gonna have to wait on that one too. This one's an anthurium, Anthurium waracreanum, waracreanum. or the queen anthurium. I just really love those long leaves. One day, like when I have a greenhouse situation, I will have the queen anthurium. I don't really care too much for the king anthurium. I don't really like plants with a lot of texture on them. I'm more of like a color, you know, silver, variegated kind of person, but I do like the Warocreanum with the long leaves and the veinations, just so pretty. So even the babies are super expensive, so I'm gonna have to wait on that one too. Okay, so colocasia slash alocasia. The first one is silver dragon. For obvious reasons, it's silver, it's all. The second one is crystallinum red, and I've seen this one a little bit around on Instagram, and I do know that the leaves come in red and then they turn green, but I just love the like red look to it, so I also just kind of want like a regular crystallinum. I found one on Peace, Love, and Happiness Club for like 88 bucks, which is pretty good given that most of them go for like over $100. Another one is alocasia aslanii, and it's kind of like a purpley red, green, like dark green alocasia. I do have an alocasia poly or amazonica, and it's a little baby right now, so it's growing, and I'm really enjoying it. It has not died, it has not lost a leaf, even though it's winter here, so I like to think that it's doing well, so I think I can take care of alocasias for now. The next one is a colocasia, and it's colocasia mojito, and they are basically like green and black mixed together. I know that there's also a syngonium mojito, but every time I see them, they're not that impressive in my opinion, so I'm gonna go for the colocasia mojito. The next one is colocasia blue gecko, which is the cutest, funniest name. But they're basically like a really dark black. It's almost like colocasia black magic, but they've kind of got like a bluish tinge to them. I don't know why people don't buy more colocasia. Why don't people like colocasia? Colocasia black magic, they get like massive. The leaves get huge. Like, why don't people like colocasia? I found a blue gecko on Etsy for like $8. $8. I better get on it before everyone finds out about it. Okay. Anyway, so in the scindapsus section, there's the variegated exotica, which I've seen floating around very sparsely on Instagram and very sparsely on Facebook. Most people, when I say that there's a variegated exotica or pictus, sometimes I see like a variegated silver lady and like a variegated any sort of like pictus variety. I have seen an exotica, variegated exotica, but that was a while ago and I haven't been able to find it. Just any sort of variegated like exotica slash pictus I've seen floating around, and every time I tell somebody about it, they're like, I didn't know that existed. So I really need somebody to like get on that and like start making it accessible and not like $3,000, because I really want one. There's also a variegated jade. So there's the jade scindapsus, which is just the entire green form scindapsus. But then there's a variegated one, and it's kind of like a cream with like a light green. It's really pretty. I'll put the picture, but it's really beautiful. And then there's the silver cloud, and that one is like exotica, but it's mostly silver, and it's kind of got like these veins on it. It's really pretty. I've seen only one seller consistently selling it in the US. So, and every time she sells it, every time she posts it, the minute I click on it, it's gone. So, and one time I did click on it and it was like $200, and I'm like, no, I don't have that kind of money, so I'd rather spend $200 on like something else. I'm just gonna wait till the price goes down. Next one is platinum, and platinum is like all silver, kind of like a bluish tinge. It's really pretty. And then there's officinalis, which kind of looks like moonlight, but the silver is like kind of a streak paintbrush pattern. It's really pretty. And then there's lucens, and lucens is interesting because people get them mixed up with another plant that I can't remember the name of, but it's not even like in the scindapsus family, but they get confused a lot. So it's gonna be hard to find like a true lucens, so we'll see. And the only two in the Hoya category are Wilbur Graves and Carry Splash. The sad thing about Carry Splash is I almost got one. I almost got one, and then the seller was like, yeah, we actually ran out of that and our inventory did not update. And I was like, no. No. And the only one that I do know of is a overseas plant seller that I'm just really not, like, it's winter right now, so I'm just really not prepared or brave enough to order a plant over winter right now, so oh well. And then there's Wilbur Graves. I've literally not seen it anywhere. Of course, I'm not really like much of a Hoya person, so maybe I just haven't been looking, but I haven't really seen it that much, so I'll just keep looking. But yeah, those are my plants of 2020 and my wish list plants, so let me know what your wish list plants are and tell me what your favorite plants are of 2020, and I look forward to hearing from you. I also have really great news. I got the job, so I'll be working at a cool flower shop, and I'm really happy. And yeah, my first day of training's tomorrow, so wish me luck. Alright, I'll see you guys later, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe or whatever. Or don't. I do care, but it's up to you. Anyway, have a good one.